Students are getting ready for in-person finals for the first time in over a year.
And a WSU college received a gift to get students career ready. Murrow News 8 starts now.
From the Northwest Public Broadcasting Studios on the campus of Washington State University, this is Murrow News 8.
Good evening, I'm Aspen Schumpert.
And I'm Cameron Baber. Welcome to Murrow News 8.
Just this morning, the Washington Supreme Court decided to adopt the redistricting map that was passed by the Commission. The Supreme Court concluded, quote, that the plan adopted by the Washington State Redistricting Commission met the constitutional deadline and substantially complied with the statutory deadline to transmit the matter to the legislator. Now the Commission will set forth their plan to finish redistricting.
This week, the Inova Foundation donated $75,000 to the Pine Creek Community Restoration Group. It will go towards community development and housing. This grant will help rebuild what a firestorm destroyed in the town of Pine City and most of Malden Road on Labor Day weekend last year. And the Port of Whitman County is considering approaching Washington legislator about the renovation of the old steam plant near the WSU campus. The Board of Commissioners met yesterday and are filing a Senate form. They're trying to figure out which senators to approach. The renovation project needs $30 million in funding, and the commissioners believe that legislator could provide about $10 million of it. The space is expected to provide 20,000 square feet of office space for Whitman County businesses and could be used for researchers and graduate students at WSU.
Finals are coming up very soon, and many students are stressed about their workload. Reporter Jacoby Wright has the story.
I have at least two 20-page papers, one 10-page paper, and it's a little ridiculous that, you know, online this wasn't the scenario, but back in person, there's just not any continuity with classes.
Overwhelming, complicated, upsetting. These are some of the adjectives used by students to describe this fall semester overall.
Some odd reason, it feels more of a workload, and you definitely have to, I feel like you're working more with each other, or even like communicating more with the professor than what I did last semester, especially that we were remote. So it's definitely different.
Now, students spend the majority of their time in a classroom or a computer lab, just like this one. But this semester in particular has literally left students all over the place.
A lot of times in online school, like, it was you teaching yourself, whereas this year I feel like now that we're in person, a lot of teachers just feel like we can handle more.
Now, for those of you who have been struggling all semester long, here are some words of encouragement from your fellow Cougs.
Just keep going. I mean, at the end of the day, like, you have to put yourself first, and you're going to do what you have to do. What makes you happy.
Like, keep working through the pain, because at the end, like, as long as you tried your hardest, that's what matters.
I noticed that I was like struggling in a few classes, but nothing where I was like failing. But if I needed help, it's okay just to reach out to your professors.
With Murrow News 8, I'm Jacoby Wright.
The Carson College of Business was just recently gifted a very large amount of money to improve student successes at WSU's accounting program. Madeline Donaldson has more live at Carson College to give us details on the very generous gift.
Thanks, Cameron. I'm here at the Carson College of Business, where they were anonymously gifted $3.5 million to help fund efforts for recruitment and operations within the program. The gift was to establish the Endo program for student success in accounting and provides funding to support advising and career consulting.
Sorry about that, we're having some technical difficulties. Professors and chair of the WSU Department of Accounting, Bernard Wong on Wing, says that this gift will help the program distinguish themselves as the best program in the Pacific Northwest in terms of matching students with career opportunities. We also have, their mission is to create opportunities for students today and for future generations.
2020 was a tough year for many businesses around the Palouse. Some businesses were able to recover, but some are still struggling. More on that with our reporter, Will Wixie.
Pullman businesses are changing, and while some are struggling, others are thriving.
We're not getting a lot of weeknight drinkers. We're getting a lot of weekend drinkers, but the food sales are phenomenal.
With students back on campus this year, Many local Pullman businesses were expected to bounce back after the COVID year at Wazoo. However, for some, this is not the case. Birch and Barley and other businesses had to change their hours due to staffing and patron shortages, while others, like Terrain Brewing Company, had to close.
While some businesses struggle to stay open, despite it being after 2020, other businesses struggle to stay closed.
With many businesses now using delivery.com due to less customers in store, there's no telling if this website can help them or maybe hinder them. However, Polly's Bar and Grill is not leaving that up for debate, as they are a business that prides themselves in their personal delivery service, providing free delivery to all customers after 4 p.m.
I have nothing against delivery.com and all of these other delivery services. They're trying to make a living, and it was a good idea, it really is. Restaurants that don't deliver, it's nice to have a service to come in and deliver for you. I might even do that myself with the deli that I opened. But let's face it, when you use a delivery service, there's a fee. There's an automatic tip. There's tax. There's like all these extra fees. So you get a $10 cheeseburger and you're paying $20 for it.
Despite the competitors, Polly's is staying strong, and many other businesses are attempting to follow suit. Delivery is the backbone for some businesses, such as Polly's, but there's no telling if it can save some of these restaurants. With Murrow News 8, I'm Will Wixie.
The 30th annual Holiday Book Fair at WSU will be taking place on Wednesday, December 8th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. You'll be able to find 20 to 50% off discounts on all books, drawing for books, and refreshments. The fair will take place in the Terrell Library Atrium. Sale prices will be valid for phone and online orders throughout the week, and you can take a look at the featured book titles online.
This Saturday, Palouse Cares will host a food drive from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. In Pullman, they'll be at Safeway, Dismore's, Grocery Outlet, and Walmart. If you happen to be over in Moscow, they will be at Safeway, Rosar's, and Walmart.
Washington State Attorney General Bob Ferguson spoke with the League of Women Voters of Pullman over Zoom Thursday, giving his thoughts on the state's outgoing legal battle against Purdue Pharma after Washington and 47 other states sued Purdue Pharma, a major opioid manufacturer, for its role in influencing the opioid epidemic. The company declared bankruptcy. The owners of the company made a deal with the judge to spend billions to resolve the bankruptcy in exchange for a lifetime legal shield from civil lawsuits. Ferguson said that this is an abuse of the bankruptcy process and thinks the company should be held accountable for their role in fueling this epidemic.
With the emergence of new COVID-19 variant, we'll tell you how it might affect your holiday travel plans.
And nearly 4 years ago today, an Amtrak train derailed in Seattle, killing 3 people. Hear what a passenger on that train has to say years later, coming up.
This is the story of a boy who was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where nothing could get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. It made him feel uncomfortable. One day, he found out he had something called autism. His family got him help. And slowly, he learned how to live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Days, months,
Hey, I'm Jim from across the street.
years,
I'd like to give you this.
a lifetime can rush by without realizing what we're missing. We lose some of the best moments, some that may never repeat,
Come on.
or detach from people around us. Our loved ones grow used to this pattern. But it doesn't have to be that way. We have a choice to take action. It's never too late to live a full life again. Hear how many of us Vietnam veterans have managed our mental health and reconnected with our families. Visit maketheconnection.net to find out more.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
An Amtrak derailment killed 3 people 4 years ago, nearly to this date. Our Murrow News 8 reporter Isaiah Sharp spoke with someone who was on that very train and searched for answers on how to avoid another crash like this one.
Railways are a major piece of Washington's transportation, but one accident froze train passenger travel for years.
Some guy came up to my car and he's like, "What's going on?" And I'm like, "Well, here," and I showed him on my phone. I'm like, "It looks to me like there's a train, and I think this is what's happening."
Melinda was commuting to Olympia 4 years ago when a train derailed onto I-5, killing 3 passengers. But Amtrak is planning to resume travel once again over the Point Defiance bypass. I'm here in Lakewood at the last station that passenger train went through just before it derailed in 2017. Now, I spoke with an Amtrak representative who directed me to a website that laid out all the precautions Washington is taking to avoid a tragedy just like this one. Amtrak will now use positive train control that can automatically stop and slow down trains operating above permitted speeds. They have also implemented a safety management system and step-down speed restrictions to help combat any trains that are traveling faster than approved. I asked Melinda if she would ever take an Amtrak train after the derailment, and she says she has faith in the new safety protocols.
And I do enjoy taking the train. I've done it a few times to Portland, so I can't say that that day would stop me from doing it, because I feel like, they've taken the, like you said, you got to trust that it's not going to happen again.
Amtrak will resume travel over the bypass this November. Reporting in Lakewood, I'm Isaiah Sharp, Murrow News 8.
Now for some national news updates. The parents of the 15-year-old responsible for the Oxford High School shooting are being charged with 4 counts of homicide and voluntary manslaughter. James Crumbly bought the gun used in the shooting 4 days prior. Jennifer Crumbly even posted on Facebook about buying the gun, calling it, quote, his new Christmas present. Prosecutors believe both parents were criminally negligent.
Congress passed a short-term government funding bill that will prevent a shutdown yesterday morning. The Senate voted 69-28 to advance the continuing resolution. It will now be sent to Biden to sign, keeping the government funded until February 18th. The bill has virtually no changes to existing funding or policy.
The CDC announced that it's shortening its time frame for required COVID-19 testing. All international air travelers are to have a negative COVID test 1 day before departure back to the U.S. This change strengthens the protocols for international travel, as well as requirements for foreign travelers to be fully vaccinated to be able to visit the country. The CDC also recommends travelers to be tested after their arrival.
With the Omicron variant likely on its way to Washington and the demand for boosters are high, Governor Jay Inslee says the state is working to increase access to COVID-19 vaccinations. California, Minnesota, Colorado, and New York have all confirmed cases of the Omicron variant. The state is expecting to receive 80,000 doses from the federal government in the coming weeks.
According to local health agencies, there are 23 new COVID-19 cases on the Palouse. 15 of those cases coming from being reported in Latah County and the remaining 8 in Whitman County. There have been a little over 6,100 cases in Whitman County and about 4,400 in Latah County.
Why did a small farm receive the National Centennial Weather Station Award?
And it's been warmer than usual on the Palouse, but how long will that stick around? Our own Derek Strom will tell you next on Murrow News 8.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you, and we'll figure it out."
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Me and my boy Matt had it good. He had catnip that was off the hook. But one day, he brings a girl home, and she's allergic to cats. Every sneeze was a nail in my coffin. Now I'm in a shelter. It's decent, but they don't even have Wi-Fi.
Clark County's 78th Street Heritage Farm received a National Centennial Weather Station Award for its long contribution to record collecting because of the farm's weather monitoring station. The award was created to show the importance of long-term meteorological observation. There are only 291 of these stations in the world, and 11 of them are in the U.S., including Washington.
According to CNN, 2 states in the country have blizzard warnings, and one of them is Hawaii, of all places. Several warnings have been put into effect for Alaska as well, where blowing snow will cause severe difficulty for travelers for the state. As for Hawaii, the Weather Service is forecasting up to 1 foot of snow or more, with wind gusts getting as high as 100 miles per hour for the Big Island summits.
It's already been warm and dry this first week of December, but I definitely had to bundle up today. Derek, what can we expect the rest of the week?
Well, Aspen, unfortunately, today might be the last day of that dry weather that we're seeing. As you can see today, high of 45, low of 35, pretty moderate. We're seeing some clouds, but no precipitation today. Not a lot of wind either. It's only 3 to 5 miles per hour, so if you have any errands you want to run, anything you want to do outside, today's probably the day to do it, because tomorrow that's all going to change. As we look forward to tomorrow, that low is going to drop all the way down to 24 degrees. Probably going to see some rain towards the end of the day, and that wind's going to pick up as well. It's going to be about 6 to 11 miles per hour in the morning. In the afternoon, it's going to get up to about 15 to 20 miles an hour, and we might even see gusts of over 30 miles an hour. As we look towards the state map, a lot of clouds around Washington today. Pretty temperate weather, as you can see down there in the Tri-Cities and Yakima. Highs in the upper 40s, partly cloudy there. Over on the west side, we're seeing highs in the mid-40s. A lot of fog over there on the west side. And then over here in Spokane and Pullman, highs in the low to upper 40s. Cloudy, but, manageable. It's not so bad. All right, as we take a look at our 5cast, I'll go ahead and step off for that. Let you take a look at it. As you can see, Sunday night, we're looking at a chance of snow, about 60%. Going into Monday morning, we'll probably still see some of that snow. Potentially, we're going to get up to 2 to 4 inches of that. Monday night, it's going to be dry through Tuesday, but there's another chance of snow Tuesday night. Rain and snow are likely on Wednesday. We're going to see a 40% chance of snow on Wednesday night. Well, is that going to ruin any of your weekend plans?
I don't know. I mean, I don't actually have any severe weekend plans, so I think I'm going to be staying in this weekend. How about you, Aspen?
I have a formal event tomorrow downtown, but that's going to be inside, so hopefully that'll be fine.
Yes, hopefully your walk down there won't be too bad.
Yeah, I think I'm going to drive.
Sounds good. Well, Coach Dacre was officially announced as WSU's next football head coach. Hear what he had to say about it.
And it's big game in Waco for WSU's volleyball team tonight. Our Will Wixie will explain why next in sports.
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children, she didn't know what to do. She gave them some broth without any bread and kissed them all soundly and put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
So I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Hi, I'm Will Wixie with Today's Sports. Well, Jake Dickert is now officially named WSU's new head football coach. The news comes after a press conference held yesterday where Athletic Director Pat Chun officially announced Dickert as WSU's 34th head football coach. Dickert had many people to thank and a great message about the future of WSU's football program.
I've been able to coach at every level, and that's been a special experience for me. There's way too many to name, but all those guys know who they are. And I wouldn't be here without their effort and just the things that we've got to go through together. And it's been a really special journey. And I think you're the product of the people that you surround yourself with in life.
The former defensive coordinator took the helms after Nick Rolovich's firing, leading the Cougs to an overall 7-5 record after being 3-3 before Rolovich's termination. After winning 3 out of their last 5 games to end the season, the Cougar football is expected to play in 4 of the 6 Pac-12 bowl games. Many fans went to see the Cougs get a ticket to the Las Vegas Bowl, which is the most coveted out of the games they are eligible for, although the Cougs are most likely to end up in the Holiday or Sun Bowl, which CBS and ESPN are predicting to happen. WSU volleyball takes on number 5 ranked Baylor in the NCAA tournament today. After the team beat Northern Colorado 3-0 yesterday, the Cougs now advance to play Baylor after they beat Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Head coach Jen Greeny shared some words after the Coug dub yesterday.
Penny Tusa.
Week in and week out in our conference, there is nobody that you can take lightly. So that's what we talked about a little bit, just preparing for this match. Is that's playing in the Pac-12 prepares you for tough matches against tough opponents under pressure. We do that every weekend, so definitely being in that conference helps.
The game versus Baylor is set for 5 p.m. tonight at the Farrell Center in Waco, Texas. Yesterday, the United Soccer coaches named Washington State super senior Elise Bennett to a second-team All-American. Bennett finished her 5th season at WSU with a career-best 10 goals while adding 4 assists for a team high of 24 points. Over her career with the Cougs, Bennett notched 26 goals and 12 assists in her 93 games played with the team, the second most all-time. Bennett now looks to take her talents to the professional level and join the National Women's Soccer League. The WSU women's basketball team is on the road this weekend in Sacramento. The Cougs take on UC Davis this Saturday, looking to get their 2nd consecutive win after returning to the States. They beat the San Francisco Dons yesterday, winning the contest 72-58, which is good news considering the Dons beat UC Davis in their last conference 73-46. The Cougs' next game after that is against Gonzaga next Wednesday. WSU men's basketball takes on number 20 ranked USC tomorrow at Beasley Coliseum. This should be a tough matchup for the Cougs, with the Trojans being undefeated thus far this season. Though the Cougs came away with a win against Arizona State Wednesday, it wasn't a pretty one, with the Cougs shooting a measly 30% from the field. Here's hoping that percentage skyrockets when they'll meet it tomorrow at 3 p.m. The Seattle Kraken take on the Edmonton Oilers tonight at 7 p.m. Kraken have been on a bit of a hot streak lately, winning 3 of their last 5 games. After destroying the Buffalo Sabres 7-4 on Monday, the Kraken suffered a tough loss against the Detroit Red Wings Wednesday, losing 3-4 in a shootout. With the Oilers having a record of 16-5, let's hope the home field advantage will guide our Kraken to victory. And the Seattle Seahawks take on the Houston Texans this Sunday. After going winless in November, the Hawks are hoping to bounce back from a serious rough patch in the season. The Hawks were in the hunt to make the playoffs last week, but now after that loss to the Washington football team, those playoff hopes are turning into dreams. With some speculating that Russ's finger is hurting his game, we'll see if he proves the doubters wrong this Sunday. Well, guys, that's a lot of sports for this weekend and this week. Which sports are you guys looking forward for this weekend?
Well, I haven't got to catch a basketball game this season, so I think I'm going to try and see that tomorrow.
I definitely want to see the women's basketball team. I have a few good friends on the women's basketball team, so I really need to get out there and watch them score. Definitely, yes.
Yeah, same here.
Well, who doesn't love Santa and cookies?
And get your picture taken with the man himself. We'll tell you where after the break.
Days, months,
Hey, I'm Jim from across the street.
Years.
I'd like to give you this.
a lifetime can rush by without realizing what we're missing. But it doesn't have to be that way. We have a choice to take action. Visit maketheconnection.net to find out more.
Can I tell you a cat joke? Just kidding. Why did the girl ask the mushroom to dance? Because he was a fun guy. What do you call a pig that knows karate? Pork chop. So how does a tissue dance? Put a little boogie on it.
Oklahoma is suing the Biden administration over its federal coronavirus vaccine mandate for federal employees and the National Guard. With all the National Guard members being required to be vaccinated, the state is asking the court to the enforcement of the requirement and not withhold money from their National Guard.
And the Appaloosa Museum in Moscow, Idaho will host a holiday open house. There will be treats to take home and Santa will make an appearance, and Appaloosas will be there to take pictures with. This event is tomorrow, December 4th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's free and open to the public.
Are you going to take some pictures with Santa?
Maybe. Well, I didn't even know what an Appaloosa was, and it's a type of horse.
I did know that. My mom rides horses competitively.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, they have spots on them. I
Yes,
thought that was
yes.
That was very, very cool.
Beautiful animals.
I did not know that. Yes, I used to ride horses when I was younger. So.
Aww.
Yes.
When are you going to head home for break?
Well, probably I graduate next Saturday, so that's going to be really exciting.
Forgetting.
Yes, so my entire family will be here next weekend, and I'll be able to walk and officially graduate, which I'm very, very excited to do.
I'm sad you're leaving.
Yes, it will be.
Have you already taken graduation pictures?
I have, yes. I took them last semester with my friends when it was the springtime and sunny out. So it was nice weather and beautiful sunsets to take it. I mean, even though the sunsets are nice now, but nicer weather. It wasn't as cold. You know, it wouldn't be as cold.
Yes, that's the right move. I think if you're graduating in December, you should take them when it's nicer out.
I completely agree.
Well, thanks for watching. If you missed anything in this or any of our previous newscasts, you can always watch us on our YouTube channel.
And more news can be found at nwpb.org/mn8. And you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Have a good night.